So, good morning to all of you. Today I am going to discuss SML July 2021 paper. So, this was conducted as an online exam. Therefore, it was an open book exam. It was a little bit tough paper. So, normally we can expect a tough paper when exam is held as an open book exam. So, today I will go through the whole paper by taking around 4 hours, right. I hope I will be able to complete the paper within 4 hours period. First of all, I would like to explain the paper structure to you to get an understanding how your preparation should be there before the exam. As you are aware, SML paper consists of two parts, part A and part B. Both parts carry 50 marks. So, both parts carry 50 marks. Look at the part A. Part A consists of two questions. Each question carry 25 marks. Part B consists of only one questions. If you look at about the part B is based on pre-scene analysis. In the exam, unseen part is given. So pre-seen, then unseen. So, you have a golden opportunity to work with this pre-seen. Why I am saying like that? If you look at about the past papers, most of the question tested can be answered based on the pre-seen analysis. So, normally pre-seen is issued 1 month before the exam. So, you have to work on this pre-seen analysis. So, if you have prepared well on pre-seen, then unseen will be a small part, then you can answer the question tested in the exam, right. So, now next time we can expect SML as a closed book exam. We hope there will be physical exam, right, there will be physical exam. So, in a closed book exam, the task will be a little bit tougher compared with the open book, because in the open book you can extract the theory part from the study text, but in a closed book you do not have that particular luxury. Then, so this SML subject, remember, this is tested at strategic level. So, level 4 in CA exam at strategic level. So, if you look at about the strategic level, so this will be different from level 3 exam. If you look at about the previous subject we had on SML, that was BBC. BBC was at the right level 3 in CA exam, business level. At that time it was level 3, right. So, that the number one difference you have to understand. So, the answers you have developed on BBC may not be suitable for SML subject. At the strategic level, what we can more expect here is more your analytical skills. how we are going to apply theory for a given scenario. Application will be more tested, right. Therefore, these applications can't be developed within 1 day or 2 days. You have to work hard on these aspects. You have to work hard to develop applications, skills, right. So, this is the first understanding you should have. So, examiner expect more deep analysis from you. On the other hand, remember, the knowledge you are gathering here will be key for your final examinations, that is integrated case study exam, right, integrated case study exam. So, actually 45 out of 80 is tested from strategic management, right. So, therefore, I think you have to go in depth of this subject. So, due to two reasons. One is to pass this paper, you need to have more analytical skills. Then next paper you are going to do to complete CA. So, majority 45 out of 80 is coming from the this strategic management part. Therefore, you should be good at there. Not only that, so hopefully what happened, assignment also come up with this. If so, assignment 20 marks, it will be around 65 out of 100 is coming from the strategic management. Therefore, so you want to go deep in the subject. So, what I have seen as a lecturer for this subject for 16 years, I have been lecturing this subject for 16 years, strategic management subject. Students have not understood the exam requirement. They think this is the most easiest one, right, and they do not give much weight on this, right? They do not give much weight on this. So, they just look at about some of the theories, maybe PowerPoint slide, few PowerPoint slide provided by tuition provider, right, and then look at about the theory, right, in a summary form and go to the exam. So, that will not work, remember, right, that will not work. Why I am saying like that? Because you have to go in depth of the theory, otherwise, right, you will not be able to apply the theory for the given scenario. Therefore, I am kindly requesting you, please allocate more time on this subject and do more works. So, you want to write more questions. Doing study fact is not, past papers is not sufficient, right. So, you have to do more questions, you have to find out more questions, even CA, revision kit, some other similar exam questions can be done like ZIMA, ACCA, you can touch them, right. So, get more understanding about the application side, that is required. So, I am a guy, I believe, right, I am a lecturer, I believe that doing 10 questions from the same topic, right, may not be more valuable than doing one questions with a deep understanding. So, if you do one question with deep understanding, that will work for you, not 10 questions, right. If you do the same thing again, so that will not work for you. So, therefore, I am kindly requesting you, please go in depth, right. So, otherwise, right, you will not be able to, right, pass this paper. If you look at about the previous papers, the pass rates were very low. On new syllabus, the last time pass rate, the data are not available. Before that online exam, this paper had the worst result compared with all other papers. Therefore, my dear friends, please work hard on this, right. So, here I am not going to discuss theory, right. So, if I am going to discuss the theory, it will take 10 to 15 hours, right. So, what I am going to do is, I am going to analyze the questions and discuss with you, right. So, we will look at about the paper. Right. As I have told you earlier, this was conducted as an online exam. Right. So, there are two parts, section 1, section 2. I told you section 2 is based on pre-scene. Look at this question number 3, section 2. Based on the common pre-scene, right. So, first of all, I will work with sections 1. Question number 1. So, first of all, we will look at about the requirement. Design, part A, design a strategic vision and mission statement for TCL by highlighting the characteristic of a vision and mission statement. So, design a strategic vision and mission statement for TCL by highlighting the characteristic of a vision and mission statement, 5 marks. So, here it is very important to understand the action verb requirement. So, in your study facts, action verbs meaning are given. So, first of all, try to understand what is required by reading the action verb meaning. So, here the action verb given is design is the action verb given. Look at this design, right, design. So, design means devise the form or structure according to a plan. Devise the form or structure according to a plan. Devise the form or structure according to a plan. Here what we have to devise is vision and missions. Right. So, what do you know about vision and missions? So, based on that, you have to develop your answer. Right. If you look at about these questions, actually there are 2 parts. Design a vision, study vision and mission statement for TCL, the first part. Highlighting the characteristic of vision and mission statement. Right. Highlight the characteristic of vision and mission statement. Now, altogether, how many part we cover in your answer? Impact 4. Vision is first part, mission is second part, characteristic of vision is third part, characteristic of mission is fourth part. Impact 4 should be addressed. So, if you look at about the vision and missions, you know, vision is the ultimate goal of an organization. It is future oriented. Mission explain reason for existence. Mission explain reason for existence. It connect with the current business activities. Mission is what you are engaged at person in order to achieve the long term future visions. Now, if you look at about the characteristic of vision mission, so we look at about the theory part little bit. If you look at about characteristic of vision missions, here vision is foresight or power of seeing. So, you predict future state of the organizations. Then serving as a concrete foundation for the organizations, it will provide the required foundation for you, energizing people and department. So, people are given more energy when you are having a vision, then motivating individuals and facilitate the recruitment of talent. So, people are motivated when you have a clearly defined vision statement, then serving as an enduring promise as to what the organization is for. So, it is something which is never changed and which is something which can be improved. So, mission, as I have told you, mission deal with the present activities of the organizations, it explains reason for existence. So, what are the characteristic of mission statement? It highlights the boundaries of current business. So, what are the limit of your current business activities? It may be in terms of the product and services you offer to the market, or in terms of the geographical locations you are operating. For example, if you are operating in Sri Lanka, so that is a geographical boundary for your business activities. It conveys, that means communicate who we are, what we do and where we are now. It communicates who we are, what we do and where we are now. It is company specific and it will give a company its own identity. So, you can identify two organizations separately by reading the mission statement of the two organizations. Then it highlights the company's values and culture. It highlights the company's values and culture. So, values and culture are part of this. So, this is the theory part. Now, here so what is your task is to design a strategic vision and mission statement for TCL. To design vision statement and mission statement, you have to go through the facts given. You have to understand the facts given. Right. So, we will look at about the facts given. So, look at the questions. The True Ceylon Private Limited is a branded tea manufacturer. It was established in 2014 by three friends namely Chandima, Tushara and Galhena, and they hold the position of chairman, managing director and chief executive officer respectively in the company. So, three friends started. So, they are in the tea industry. The main purpose of establishing TCL was to introduce high quality branded tea to Sri Lankan consumers, as many people believe that they did not have access to good quality tea, although the country is popular for growing and manufacturing the world's finest tea. So, this is a true story. So, when we were small kid, we did not have the opportunity to drink a good tea, because all these tea manufacturing companies target overseas market. No one cater to Sri Lankan market, right. Therefore, so we had to use some inferior quality tea in Sri Lankan market. High quality tea was not available for Sri Lankan consumers. So, to capitalize that particular opportunity, they decided to start these particular organizations. High quality is one of the factor they have considered. The company has therefore been catering to the local market by targeting modern trade stores. So, look at supermarkets, super centers and hypermarkets. So, they are providing the good to supermarket, right. So, TCL aim to target upper and upper middle class customers. So, high income earners are targeted by them. So, probably the price will also be high. They may enjoy some price premium. The positioning theme of TCL given below is widely based on the value system of the company. So, what are the values they focus? T, truly a Ceylon product. E, ethical in creating value. A, accountable for all our action, business operations. Since the start of the business, TCL witnessed a constant growth in its top line, resulting in a year-on-year profit before tax of 8%. So, they enjoy a high profit of 8%. In a recently concluded board meeting, a strategic decision to expand the business into different arenas was assessed, and the following ideas were discussed. Right, what are the things they have discussed? Part 1, to introduce an ERP system for the company in order to improve the efficiency and effectiveness of end-to-end functional reporting, which is currently done manually. They would introduce ERP system. As an initial, TCL has started feasibility studies and other implementation discussions with 2 key ERP service vendors, SAP and Oracle. So, they are dealing with 2 ERP service vendors, SAP and Oracle. The board is aware that the current employees are not that familiar with ERP system, and upon the communication of the decision, they have come up with a lot of criticisms and grievances in order to demotivate the management. Look at that point. The board is aware that the current employees are not that familiar with ERP system, and upon the communication of the decision, they have come up with a lot of criticisms and grievances in order to demotivate the management. That means now this is a change now. From organization point of view, this is a change. So, what has happened? People are not favor to the change. They are not familiar. So, they have grievances always. So, there may be resistance coming from employees. Right. So, however, the management is very direct and focused in implementing an ERP system, as they have identified it is as a very good solution to reduce cost and the employee base of the company when expanding the business. But they want to go with this particular decision, go forward with this particular decisions. Number 2, to expand the business into various other international markets. Based on the observation that tourists who visit Sri Lanka have used TCL branded product and have complimented on their authenticity and rich texture. Look at that one. To expand the business into various other international markets based on the observation that tourists who visit Sri Lanka have used TCL branded product. And now they are thinking about international expansions. They want to go to other countries. Because tourists who visited Sri Lanka have highly appreciated this particular product, and they are happy about the authenticity and rich texture of the products. As a result of the above, the company is expected to enter into other international markets via Singapore PL to bring operational excellence, cash flow, liquidity and tax advantages together with improved networking. However, the management of TCL has not yet finalized any of the above decisions and seek the assistance of a consultant. Now, if you look at about yourself, How we are going to design a vision and mission for TCL? When I am going through the facts given, I was interested about few words. One is the high quality, branded tea. Right, high quality product is offered by these people. High quality. Then if you look at about these foreigners, they say it's authenticity and rich texture. So I am interested about those words, those authenticity and rich texture. Then so vision, now you know vision is something deal with the future state. Now we are considering to go to other markets, right? We want to go beyond Sri Lankan market. We want to cover international markets, right? So international market. So that's another things I am going to consider, right? Remember, the vision and mission statement you are going to develop, right, will not be same as others, because these are open questions. So people can come up with different vision mission statement, but right, it should cover key characteristic of the vision and mission statement. As I have told you, right, I am interested about few words, right, based on the scenario given. So what are the key words I was interested when I was reading? One is high quality. High quality. Then another word is authentics. Authentic. Then another one is international expansions. International expansions. So, when I am going to construct the vision statement, I will consider these words and try to develop a vision statement. Right. So, what are the examples? Remember, this is only a specimen I am going to tell you. I am providing example for you. Whatever the vision you are going to develop may be different from my one. My one will be different from examiner one, because it's open-ended questions, right? The only thing is the main quality should be incorporated, right? So what is the vision statement I am going to develop? Right, I will say vision say to be, you will say to be number one tea manufacturer I want to be the number one tea manufacturer by offering, I will say by offering high quality and authentic product to customers so I mentioned to be number one tea manufacturer by offering high quality and authentic product to customers while having international presence while having international presence. So, here we will say in the world. To be number one tea manufacturer in the world by offering high quality and authentic product to customers while having international presence, right. So, this is the vision I have developed. Number one tea manufacturer in the world by offering high quality, authentic to customer while having international presence. So, look at the keyword I have picked from the scenario given were included within my vision statement. This high quality word was included, authentic word was included, then international presence word was also included. Right. Shall we look at what the examiner tell on this? I am sure examiner answer will be different from my one. We will see what type of vision developed by the examiner. So, look at what he has stated at the beginning. He say candidate may have come up with other different vision and mission statement. However, they needed to have been aligned and discussed using the point highlighted in the scenario and the following characteristics. Yes, that is the point, right. So, different guys will develop different vision and mission, but you want to make sure the key points are incorporated within your answer. So, look at the example given by examiner. To give our customers an unmatchable tea experience no matter where they live in the world. To give our customers an unmatchable tea experience, unmatchable, that means high quality authentics, no matter where they live in the world, right. So, I included that having international presence, similar one, right. So, examiner example is straightforward, direct and straightforward and very short, right. So, you can come up with a similar to my one or examiner one, right. So, this then he has shown the characteristic, right. You can little bit explain this one without restricting only to the characteristics, right. For example, what you can do is right, look at the first point for example, power of seeing the future state. No, you can say that the future state is you can explain and tell that. So, we want to have the international presence in the future. So, we have incorporated that one future state having international presence, right. You can mention that point here, right. Right. Then the next one is mission statement. So, mission statement. So, what are characteristic of mission statement? So, these are the characteristics of mission statement earlier we discussed. So, that part can be covered. Now, what are the point we can consider when you are developing the mission statement? Any values communicated? Yes. If you look at about the given scenario, so he is talking about 3 values: truly a Ceylon product, ethical in creating value, accountable for all our action, business operations. Now, if you look at about this, ethical in creating values is one key point, truly a Ceylon product, then ethical in creating value, then accountable for all our actions. So, these are some of the things that you can incorporate when you are developing the mission statement, especially the values and culture. Right. Now, if you remember mission statement, so openly when you go through the mission statement, one of the things that you can find is they talk about their present job to different their job to different stakeholder group. So, look at this NSP mission statement, right. For example, look at the missions: providing our customers with total financial solution to optimize their savings and investment need while meeting the expectation of all our stakeholders. So, providing our customer with total financial solution to optimize their savings and investment need while meeting the expectation of all our stakeholders. Customer have been highlighted and then include their duty to other stakeholders also. So, if you look at about Bank of Ceylon, for example, if you look at a People's Bank, commercial bank, they try to address different stakeholder group like customers is the number one, employees, community, government. So, therefore, it is better if you can right, include the responsibilities of organization toward the different stakeholders also when you are developing the mission statement, right. So, we look at about some of the example. To address this one, right. So, we know the characteristic of missions. We have to talk about the person's activities of the organizations, right. Present activities, then we have to talk about the boundaries of the present activities, boundaries, then we have to include values, then values and culture, right. of the organizations, right. So, I will develop a mission statement. Here the main stakeholder party I have to address is the customers in the mission statement. Right, here missions. So, I want to tell what we are going to do for customers. We will say to provide, we will say to provide world class experience, to provide a world class experience say to provide, since this is not a service one, we will not use that experience word, we will say to provide a high quality authentic, to provide a high quality authentic tea product to our customers, to provide a high quality authentic tea product to our customers. I address the customer part at the main segment. Developing our employees, to provide no, not provide, we will say that there was a statement that ethical in creating value, we will include that part. To provide a high quality authentic tea product to our customers, developing our employees, ethical in creating value, and protecting our environment. To provide a high quality authentic tea product to our customers, developing our employees, ethical in creating value and protecting our environment. Now, this seems to be a little bit detailed one, but here what I try to do is to cover different stakeholder parties. Look at about first one, I try to cover the main stakeholder parties of the organization, that is customer group. Then I say that the employee aspect, right. Then I incorporate some values, that ethical in creating value, right. So, we will do ethical business, this one, the value part, that should be a part of the mission statement. Then protecting our customers, protecting our environment, right. I look at about the environment aspect also. This is a detailed mission statement. I address main stakeholders, and I try to incorporate the value part also, right. Right. So, we will look at the examiner's one also, what he is telling. So, remember in each answer, first of all you define the theory part, then you go to the applications, theory plus the applications, right. Right. So, look at the example given here. To give our customers an unmatchable tea experience by maintaining the highest quality, ethical productions and product visibility. To give our customer unmatchable tea experience by maintaining the highest quality, ethical production and product visibility. So, what I have mentioned is, I did not use the experience word since this is not a service one. I mentioned to provide a high quality authentic tea product to our customers, right. And he said product visibility, the highest level of customer satisfaction, deliver with care, friendliness through dedicated happy employees. He is cover employee part also, customers mainly, then the employees. Here what I have done is I also included the employees. I mentioned developing our employees, right, developing our employees. Then I mentioned ethical in creating value and protecting our environment. Right, similar one was developed by myself also, right. Right. We can look at our main characteristics. It is extract from the theory part. So, you can see this main characteristic in your study text. So, here, so examiner has extracted those things. Boundaries of current business, who we are, what we do and where we are now. The company space, so it's give the company's own identity, title the company values and culture. Right. So, we have completed the answer for the part A, then we can move to the part B. Part B, look at the part B. Advise the company on how to manage the change when introducing the ERP solution by applying Kotter's 8 steps model. So, change management, the Kotter's 8-step model have been tested. This is the first time we can see the testing of this Kotter's 8-step model. So, if you look at our past papers, what we can see is the testing of 3-stage model of Kurt Lewis, but here examiner has tested Kotter 8-step model. What is the facts which may lead for testing this Kotter's 8-step model? Since this is an open book exam, right? Since this is an open book exam, so students can extract from the study text. They can extract from the study facts and mention. Therefore, examiner does not worry testing 8 steps, and he know that you do not want to memorize the things since this is open book exam. but in a closed book exam, very low possibility to test the 8-step model. I think examiner will be a fair guy, will not test 8-step model from our students, right? Right. So we look at about the Kotter's 8-step model also. Theory part, first of all. Right. So these are the steps of Kotter's 8-step change model. So first step is increase the urgency. Second one is building a guiding team. Third one is get the vision right. Fourth one is communicate for buy-in. Fifth one is empower action. Sixth one is create short-term wins. Seventh one is don't let up. Eighth one is make the change stick. Right. So starting point is increase the urgency. Increase the urgency. What is the meaning of that one? Encourage people to change. Make the objective of the change real and relevant. So this is a starting point. So now if you look at about the scenario given here, they have mentioned that the board is aware that the current employees are not that familiar with ERP system, and upon the communication of the decision they have come up with a lot of criticism and grievances in order to demotivate the management. That means employees don't have much idea on this one, right? So therefore they have grievances and criticisms, right? So at the beginning, what you can do is you have to win the people. You have to eliminate the resistance on this. So how can you do that? How can you eliminate the resistance? What they can do is they can come up with some program. For example, some awareness program about what is ERP. So why it is required? What are the current system issues? Right? So you have to show how successful organizations achieve the success through implementation of ERP system. So like that you can give the knowledge on this, right? Then the second one, or the second step, build a guiding team. So change has to be led by a management team. Get the right people together with the commitment as well as the experience and skill to drive the change forward. So what you can do is you can appoint a project team to carry out this. You can identify people who are prepared on this one. Then you can give a leadership role for such guys. From the management there may be some guys who prepare on this option, and you put them as leaders. Then you get some other team members from different divisions. Since ERP is going to affect all division in the organization, it is better to get the people from different divisions such as production, HR, marketing, finance. Right? So that should be the second thing you have to do. project team should be appointed. Project team should comprise with top management people who favor to this particular change exercise. Then you should have some team members who are selected from different department in the organization, since this is going to affect to all department. It is going cross different department in the organizations, right. Then the third step is get the vision right. Get the vision right. The team need to establish vision and strategy for the change. What will the change help us to achieve? What are we trying to do? So, what is we expected by introducing this ERP system? Right? Here we try to implement ERP system. What is expected from that? Based on that, we can develop a vision statement. For example, we can mention that so this ERP will be helpful us to go global market, to go into global market, right, and become more efficient and effective in operations, and customer also get more convenience. So like that you can have a visions to go to global market by increasing efficiency and effectiveness and giving a good service to customers. That is the purpose of implementing ERP system. Number 4 is communicate for buy-in. Right, communicate for buy-in. So communicate the vision and strategy to as many people as possible and get them to accept the need for change. Now this should be a communication part. So you have to communicate about the vision and strategy to the many people. Nowadays you can do this one easily thanks to technology. For example, right, nowadays you can use some Zoom or team meeting, and you can give a nice presentation on this one to all employees in the organizations. Even you can create some video content and about this one, and you can distribute it to the employees, or you can upload that one in the company intranet, and then employee can log that one and see that one. So thanks to technology, this part is now very easy and not difficult, right. Then number 5 is empower actions. Empower action. Remove obstacle to change. Encourage employee to give constructive feedback to the proposal for change. Recognize and reward progress toward change and achievement that are made. So there may be an obstacle, especially there may be some employee resistance on this particular exercise, right. So you have to accept their comment, right. Accordingly, right, you may do some changes even, right. So at the same time you have to deal with them, right. So for example, if they have some issues, you have to address that. Sometimes it may be an issue of knowledge gap, right. So they may not have the required knowledge. Then you can give that knowledge to them in dealing with that one. Then number 6 is create short-term wins. Set short-term aim along the road to the final objective. Make these short-term aim easy to achieve. Finish each stage before moving on to the next one. So remember, right, it is better to identify some interim targets, milestone. Then we can achieve them, and then we can celebrate the success. For example, in a ERP project, normally the first thing will be the user requirement gathering. Right, in practice there may be some document created to complete this one, right. For example, business design document or business standard document BSD, right. So first of all you have to gather the user requirement. So we will say first one is the user requirement gathering. So that may be the target firstly we want to complete, right. When you have complete that one, then you can celebrate the success, right. Then number 7 is don't let up. Don't let up. So don't let up. Keep up the impetus for change, encourage reporting on progress, highlight achievements that have been made along the way and the next stage or stages in the path toward change. So never give up, right. So you always want to go with this one, go forward with this one. So you have to identify the achievement you have made, right. So then the number 8 is make the change sticks. Once the change are achieved, try to make them part of the organization culture. If necessary, recruit and promote individuals who have brought into the change. Once the change are achieved, try to make them part of the organization culture. If necessary, recruit and promote individuals who have brought into the change. So here the objective is to make the change permanent. So what can happen is people may back to the old practices. To avoid that one, right, you should have a program to make the change permanent. For example, you can come up with new job descriptions regarding the people. Then you can give reward for the people who adhere to this new system. You can apply strategies like that, right. So shall we look at what the examiners tell on this one, examiners answer. So first of all, theory part, I have told you earlier also, theory part. Look at the part 1, increase the urgency, what he is telling. Organization for employees such as motivational speeches with expert in the IT field free of charge to educate them on the importance of changing with the change, especially adopting IT and how it could help make their lives easier. Yes. So now you have to give the awareness to the employees, right. Motivations, not only the motivation, you have to give some idea about the positive outcome you can get from this particular new system. That should be done, right. Then step number 2, example what they given, building a guide team. So establish a team that include employee from the IT, finance, HR and marketing division, since ERP is going through different departments. So you have to get people from different divisions, right. So better to happen leaders who accept this particular change. So you have to develop a vision for this particular assignment. Number 3, here what is the example examiner has given. Going global by becoming more effective in all our operations to provide greater convenience to our customers. Right, going global by becoming more effective in all our operations, provide greater convenience to our customers. Right. So similar one we develop in our discussion also. Communicate buy-in. Use the opinion leaders and change agent in the organization and convey the message properly via informal and formal channels. Visualize the impact of the change and share it with the employee by developing, for example, video content to showcase how the new system works and share it among employees. So nowadays I told you that you can use Zoom, Team, and through that one you can give the awareness to employees on this new system. Even you can create some videos, right. Empower actions. So always welcome the comment of employees and include them in the development of the system, so that you give them the idea that the system has been developed by them and how they are part of the system change. So, we have incorporated the employee idea also when system is developed. Create short term wins. Example, give the employees an achievable target at the beginning and change them positively toward the system by appreciating their achievement. I told you example, maybe a system gathering requirement, business standard design document, BSD can be created for that purpose. So, then there is one short term target you can have, and then you can celebrate the success. Then number 7, do not let up. You have to report the progress, you have to highlight the achievement, make the change stick. Number 8, I give some example for that one. Examiner has not given example. For example, what you can do is you can come up with a new job description for the employees, then you can celebrate the success. At the end of the project you can celebrate the success, then you can give reward for the employees who accept this new system and adopt that one, right. Right. So, with that we can complete the part B, then we can move to part C, right. Then we can move to the part C of the question number 1. So, look at the part C, analyze the decision of the company in selecting Singapore as the business hub using the case distance framework and recommend the appropriate market entry strategies to pursue and enter international market. So, there are 2 parts, right. First part is you have to use this cage model and tell whether it is a good decision, right. Analyze, prove especially with the example, that is the meaning of analyze, right, action verb meaning. Then recommend the appropriate market entry strategies to pursue and enter international market. Then you have to recommend what is the appropriate strategy to go to this Singapore market. This is tested from international market topic. That is the last topic of your syllabus. So, this has been tested from this one. So, if you look at about this model, this cage framework, for what purpose we use cage framework? We use cage framework to evaluate the international market. So, here the objective is to consider the differences between its home market and the target countries and take those differences into account when designing strategy. In this scenario, home country is Sri Lanka, target country is Singapore. So, by using this cage framework, we try to identify the difference between Sri Lanka and Singapore, and those should be considered when we are designing the strategy of us. Right. So, under this cage framework, try to identify differences between the Sri Lankan market and the Singapore market. This cage mean there are 4 elements. There are 4 elements. What are the 4 elements? C mean cultural, A mean administrative, G mean geographic, E mean economics. Cultural, administrative, geographic, economics. Right, 4 areas are considered. So, first one is the cultural distance, right. If you look at about this one, cultural distance. So, in there we try to identify the difference between two countries, societal differences between two countries. So, what do you think about the Sri Lankan market and Singapore market, about the cultural distance? So, what about the tea? Are we using Sri Lanka and Singapore? Sri Lanka, so tea is number one drink. What about Singapore? Same. Singapore people prefer to drink teas, right? So, especially there is a tea that they favor, that is a milk tea. They are very favor on this one, milk tea, right? So, you can't find much differences. So, like Sri Lankan, they prefer to drink tea, right? Then administrative distance, whether there is a huge gap between the legal and political association between the two countries, especially whether the laws and regulation in Singapore will have a significant impact on our operations. What do you think? Singapore is identified as the world number one business freedom country. If you go to Google, you can find that one. When you look at about the business freedom, Singapore is the world number one country. So, that means they have very relaxed laws, very easy to, right, operate in Singapore. So, therefore, this administrative distance will not be an issue actually. Then geographical distance. So, here we look at about the physical distance between the two countries. Normally, right, there will be a travelling cost involved. If the distance is too longer, then the travelling cost will be high. You look at about Singapore and Sri Lanka, both are in Asia. So, within 1.5 to 2 hours, you can go to Singapore. There is no huge distance between Singapore and Sri Lanka. It is a closer country to Sri Lanka, right? Therefore, geographical distance is also not an issue, right? Then economic distance, yes, there is economic distance between two countries. Sri Lanka per capita income, for example, around 4,000 American dollars. Singapore, it is 60,000 American dollars. Now here, but it will not be an issue actually, it will be a favorable factor because our tea is a high quality authentic one. So, definitely we will expect a price premium. So, Singapore people have high per capita income. So, therefore, they can buy high price tea packet. So, there is no much issue on that aspects, right. So, we will look at about what the examiner tell on this. So, administrative, you say that laws are favorable to businesses, very easy. So, I gave more example for you. For example, Singapore is identified as the world number one business freedom country. So, it is very easy to do the business in there. You can mention that fact also. Economics factor, but the examiner say also Singapore is an economically well developed country where they highly promote tourism. Therefore, this will be an added advantage for taking the name of the tea brand to the rest of the world. Yes, they depend on the tourism. TCL aim to target upper middle customer when it caters to the Sri Lankan market. The same category can be continued in the international market too. The company can price its product to suit high-end customer in the regional market. The standard of living in Singapore is also high, and visitors and customers who visit Singapore can pay a high price for a quality product. So, I told you that their per capita income is very high, they are rich country, the people income is very high, around USD 60,000, therefore, that will not be an issue. Culture, the culture of Singapore also support tea, where majority of the Singaporean enjoy their lives at theme park. The Asian culture is also more toward drinking tea. Yes, they also drink tea similar to Sri Lanka. In geographical distance, Singapore is in Asia and it has easy access to so many countries with a high population such as China, Japan and Malaysia. The transportation cost from Sri Lanka to Singapore is also comparatively lower when compared to transportation cost of export to other locations in Europe or Middle East. Yes, the distance between Singapore and Sri Lanka is very small. Right. So, we have answer to the part C, first part. But the second part, recommend the appropriate market entry strategy. Recommend is the word used here, right. So, recommend. So, what is the meaning of recommend? Look at the action verb meaning of recommend. A suggestion or proposal as to the best course of action. A suggestion or proposal as to the best course of actions. Suggestion or proposal, that means you have to tell one suggestion, right. So, here recommend the appropriate market entry strategy. You can't talk about 2 or 3, you have to directly tell what is the most appropriate one, right. So, what are the different alternative options available? So, we will look at about theory part. Ways of entering a new market. These are the options. Here you can see this entry strategy, market entry strategy. Exporting overseas production. Overseas production is not practical for tea, no. So, therefore, we can ignore that part immediately. Then exporting, indirect, direct options are there. So, direct mean one option is you can use wholesaler, distributor, agent, via them you can sell the product to final user, or via company branch office you can sell the product, or maybe online you can have a website, through that you can sell the product. Indirect mean not directly to the customer. We deal with some of the export management firms, or there may be some buying office in there, right. Through that we are going to sell the products, right. So, what is more appropriate? Definitely the export, not the overseas productions. From export, what is you are going to recommend? Is it indirect or direct export, right. So, I prefer to go with direct. Why I am saying like that? Reasons. So, what we can do is we are newcomer now, right. What we can do is we can directly sell product to the wholesalers, distributors in Singapore. Actually, Singapore is a small country, not a big country. So, you can directly connect with them, and through that you can sell the product to the final consumer. In addition to that one, what you can do is you can sell the product via the website also. You can use the website, via website also you can sell the product. You will see what examiner tell. Yes, also extract the diagram. Above diagram shows possible market entry strategies. From that, the appropriate strategy for TCL would be exporting. Since the company is not linked with any intermediaries in Sri Lanka, direct exporting would be the best method to use. Yes, direct method, right. Candidate have the freedom to use any of the direct exporting method mentioned above with appropriate justification, possibly wholesalers distribution options, right. Then other method of direct exporting, since the company has introduced an ERP solution, they can use e-commerce and the internet easily and connect to the system to get tax advantage and other benefit. The company can establish branch in Singapore and export product by the branch, or it can appoint an agent too. Those are some other alternative option. I think better to use this website and sell the product to final consumer. That is another option available for you, right. Right. So, with that we can complete the answer for the question number 1.